Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Perfect Baby Broadcast. So, before you ask, this broadcast is here to show my feelings and how I feel. I'll probably be posting on this all the time and mainly half of the day. So, this is how I'm going to cope with how you guys treat me. No offense, though. Hee hee. Anyway, so let's begin. Let's name our first story. The Keith disaster. So, it's just a normal day, normal afternoon, normal everything basically. I'm doodling inside my art book, chilling, doing what I do, right? So, Dad comes home, and we all go outside to go grab the groceries, help him out with the groceries and stuff. So, after we're done helping out with the groceries, Keith tries to stay outside. Mom pushes him inside. He ends up falling over and he cries for a couple minutes, which I have no problem with at all. So he starts crying for a couple minutes. After he stops, it changed. Something changed. I don't know what changed, but he's a little upset. I don't got no problem with this. I kept minding my business, kept drawing. So, Mom told Keith to leave the kitchen, right? Keith trips over my foot and he starts to throw whole entire fit, starts yelling, screaming, all this stuff. So Dad thought that I did something to him. He says, "Don't touch my son. Do not say anything to my son. He already has people to listen to. You can't have 4 people to blah, 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 blah." Again, no offense. I love you guys so much. But anyway, so after this happens, I say, "No, that I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing to him. I didn't do anything." Dad thinks I say something to him. And then he kept saying, You're saying something to Keith. You're doing something to Keith. Don't talk to him anymore." I'm like, "Okay, I guess." And he's like, gets all upset now because Keith is up, because Keith's crying, saying, "I want to watch Mom bake in the kitchen. Kaylee's on." Whoa, 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 whoa. Kaylee's not what? He say that I said something to him. Oh, Jesus Christ, help us all. He says that I said something to him, and now he's all upset and stuff, right? So I got no problem with that again. And of course, Dad is on Keith's side because, again, as this broadcast is called, my perfect little baby. I do also have another story to this broadcast, but let's finish with this one first. So now I'm upstairs and I am in trouble because his little perfect baby is upset. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next story. And before I do the story, I want you to know I got no offense with nobody. I don't have any grudges. I don't got none of that. Let's answer some questions before we do the next story. Number 1, I am not jealous. Number 2, I'm not trying to be manipulative. Number 3, if to say it to my face, if I come down there and say this to your face, I'm going to get in trouble. So broadcasting is the only way I can cope with this right now. And I'll probably start yelling. And again, no offense to nobody. Heart emoji. Anyway, let's begin the next story. This was from a couple years ago. And this story is going to be called Taco Night. As you know, the story is called Taco Night. And we're obviously having a taco night, right? So me and Keith have been on it all day since this morning. Well, by the way, this is not from today. This isn't today's story. This is something else from a couple years ago. But anyway, this is when Keith broke my cup, which I'm going to get to that in another episode. He broke my cup. right? So now we've been going at it for like 2 months or so. We haven't had our tablets because we fighting too much. He put his hands on me. I put his hands on him. It was really a day that day. So we had some tacos to end off the day. I'm like, oh man, I can't watch no TV. Can't be on my tablet tomorrow. Ooh, right. So after all that, I just eat my tacos. Me and Keith are sitting at the same table. This is back when we had those little white school tables. We were eating off of them and all that stuff. We didn't have a family table yet, right? So me and Keith were seated together. I wanted to sit next to Savannah because, oh my God, he's gonna start some drama. Drama king. Anyway, so he's gonna start some drama. So I'm just eating, out of my business, and then he flicks food on my head. And I'm like, what the heck? Why you do that for? And then Dad and Mom are like watching TV on the couch. By the way, this is when the couch used to be like the TV used to be inside the middle of the room, like the couch. Yeah. So Mom and Dad watching TV on the couch. So they look over like, "What's going on, guys?" And then I just said, "Keep just flick food in my head." Then he's just going through this whole entire sob story that did not just happen. Mom and Dad were there the whole entire time, by the way. He goes saying, "Oh my gosh, Kaylee was talking about me and hitting my feet underneath the table." But anyway, so of course they take his side, and then he's like grins at me like, yeah, you about to get him. You about to get a booty beat him. Anyway, so he looks at me like he smiles at me, and then he looks back at Mom with a little baby puppy eyes, like, "Oh my gosh, could I please come sit with you guys and eat food on the couch?" And then Mom says like, "Oh yes, honey, come on, I'll sit with Taylor." And then so Mom comes sits with me, right? And it keeps giving me these death glares every 5 I'm like, what? Anyway, so I walk past him, friend, go look outside, right? Like I walk past him, friend, go to the door because that's when we go outside after dinner. After dinner. So he tripped me. No cap. He had his feet all up in like crisscross applesauce sitting on the floor. Then all of a sudden he starts to stretch his leg as soon as I walk past him. But anyway, so he stretches his leg and he trips me. I'm like, "Excuse me?" But and he like trips me. I'm like, "Keith, why do you do that for?" He's like, "Do what?" And he's like bursts out crying like, and then he like pretends that I tripped him. Brother, you sitting down. You can't trip people when you sitting down. Anyway. So he pretends I tripped him. Mom and Dad fall for it, and then I get sent upstairs. And then I make a whole banger song that I lost because Dad unsubscribes from the what's it called again? Oh yeah, the Amazon Kids. But anyway, we're gonna do one more story to end off the night. We're gonna do one more story to end off the night. Well, morning or afternoon or whatever I'm showing y'all this. One more story. So, this is the iconic story where Keith broke my cup. Keith was borrowing my pink cup with the Bass Pro Shop on it, the one in the cabinet, right? He borrows the cup, right? And I tell him, "Do not open that little pink top thingy because it's a little broken." So he's like, "Okay." So earlier, I walk past him and I see him literally biting on it. I take it from like, "What are you biting on it for?" I don't see the top. I'm like, "What? Keith, I just told you not to do that. Keith, why you do that?" By the way, Keith again was in a grudge with me all day because like this boy don't got nothing else better to do. He don't got time to be potty trained. He doesn't go to school, so fighting with me is like, yeah. Anyway, so he's been at it with me all day. He bites and breaks my cup. Don't worry, I fixed it now. But he bite and broke my cup. So I tell Mom. Mom says it's just an accident, sweetie. And I tell Dad, and he's like, "Oh no, Kaylee, how dare you get upset with my little baby boy? How dare you?" I'm like, "Okay, you know what? I don't care no more." So this is one of the things I did ever was actually a benefit to me. I took his favorite book and threw it in the trash. Yup. Yup. I don't feel no regret. I do not feel no regret to this day. I told him that some kid stole the book. By the way, Keith had this book outside. He was reading it, and I said some kid stole the book. Even knew I threw it in the dump. But anyway, so this is one on the most worst sides I've done, but I've done way. I have not done anything but this. It's like Dad like said earlier that I do stuff way worse. You said that you were gonna kill me if I don't sit down. And I'm the bad guy all the time. Y'all say I be too emotional, isn't it? I'm the bad guy. I'm the worst daughter in the world. I'm a bad, rebellious daughter. I'm the bad one here. I should have called CP. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. You know. But don't worry. Again, this is not public. This is not actually public. YouTube has this feature where you can only share stuff to like specific accounts, and I only shared this on one account, so it's private, but you guys can still see it from the TV because I'm screen sharing it. But anyway, I'm gonna do one more story, last story, I promise. Might be last story, but I really like this one. Challenging my son. Oh, let me get into this, babe. Maybe I'm a little too excited, but oh, yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so let's get into this. We got in trouble for playing with kids outside once again. The iconic, don't do that, don't do this, do that, outside, blah, blah, blah. Or do something else, I forgot. But anyway, we were like sitting on the floor. I'm trying to convince Dad, can we please go back outside? I said, I'm sorry that I forgot that we can't talk to kids, blah, 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 blah. He's like, no, 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 no. He's not angry with Keith because this was Keith's idea in general. He's not angry with him. He's angry at me. He's angry at me. So I start to get annoying. Like, please, 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 please. And then I ask Dad every 5 seconds random questions. And then it gets more angry, more angry, and more angry. Okay, I won't put this one on me, but this one's gonna be on him this time. By the way, no offense, Daddy. I love you. But sometimes you're a little insensible. I'm sorry. I just have to say it. Like, anyway. So, he says I'm challenging Keith. Keith is over there picking his nose. He has seen better days. He does not even care. He's staring off into space. I'm like, is that your last response? By the way, I didn't actually say this. Is that your last response? Like, you can't say anything else. And if you say anything else, it's gonna sound really weird. So you're challenging my son. I'm like, excuse me? I'm not trying to challenge your son. I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to challenge your little precious baby boy. No offense, Keith. No offense, Dad. No offense, Mom. No offense, Jesus crap. Anyway, so I'm like, so he's like, you're trying to challenge my son. You want to go? You're like, you want to go? I'm like, no, I don't want to go. I'm gonna get all my bones broke. I don't want to go. He's like, oh, okay, okay. You want to talk back? Did you not just ask me, do you want to do this in front of your son? Am I not your daughter? Like, mom, dad, I'm sorry, but like, you guys always say like, how dare you do this to my precious baby? Like I'm some random kid that they invited over and I'm bullying their siblings. Huh? You guys don't call me your precious baby anymore. You guys don't treat me like this. Okay, I'm gonna get into my hometown sob story later, but this is 14 minutes, so I'm gonna speed it up. You guys are probably not even here right now, but I'm gonna force you guys to sit for this. But anyway, so I'm like, come on. Come on. Come on, Mom. Come on, Dad, guys. Anyway, so he's like, oh my gosh, go stand in the back room. Then like pulls my hair, goes to the back room, like, oh my god, is this a movie? I'm rubbing my eyes, I'm like slapping myself. Am I awake? This is not for real. By the way, Not for real. He like dragged my hair to the back room, and then I gotta stand back there with my freaking broken ankle. And then like I swear, if Keith's ankle was hurt, my dad would be fanning him. We got the fan on him, giving some fruits, peeling oranges for him, rustling his hair like, oh my poor baby. And then like y'all like, yeah, Kaylee, just stand to the back room. You know what? Let me pull your hair out of your socket. I like stand to the back room, like stand to the back room for 30 minutes and let your foot hurt. And then when I see you sit down, I'm gonna say I'm gonna beat you. Now I'm thinking about calling CPS. Anyway, I'm joking. Guys, by the way, these are all true stories. I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to be a drama queen. I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm not trying to be manipulative. I'm not trying to be whatever y'all want to call me because I'm tired of doing this. We're going to get serious for a minute. 2 minutes of seriousness, okay? I am tired of this. You're not saying kids can't be tired of stuff, Kaylee. You're just a kid. You don't have nothing to worry about. Like, Kayla, you can't do that. And then, like, what just happened today? Keith drew all over my drawing, and then I showed Mom, and the dad came up here. He's like, I show him, he's like, I don't care. That's what kids do. That's what kids do? So, if I grab Keith's food while he's eating, throw into the trash, and smack him in the face, and then I say, that's what kids do, I'm going to get a pass. That is not saying nothing to him. I bet you $1,000,000 that you have not said nothing to Keith yet. You have not told him to not scrape on my drawings. You let him do whatever he wants. And I'm getting tired and sick and fed up with it. So, if I get in trouble, that's okay. If I get a whipping, that's okay. Because I'm tired of this. I'm not going to be stuck inside my own head thinking I'm the bad one for saying that he drew all over my drawing. I'm not going to sit in my own head and sit inside of my bed and think that I'm the bad one for telling my dad that I'm tired of him treating Keith differently. I'm not going to feel like I'm the bad one for most of this stuff. Because don't forget, you literally ran a whole entire rampage last month because the house wasn't clean. And you couldn't hit Mom. That would be illegal. You could not hit the babies. You would go to jail. But if you hit the quiet one that would never say a peep, because of social anxiety, that is okay. That is okay. I'm not saying that your parenting style is bad. I'm not saying don't punish your kids. Don't do this. Don't do that. I'm not trying to be manipulative. I'm not trying to do stuff. And I'm not saying that I don't do stuff myself. Because I get myself into stuff all the time. But sometimes it's just like Kaylee is my target. Some days are like Kaylee is my target. Not just you, Dad. Not just Mom. Not just Keith. And not just Keyshawn. All of you. I'm not leaving nobody out. I'm not going to be specialing, picking out who does which, who does what. You guys all do this. And then half of the time, Dad and Keith team, half the time it'd be Keyshawn and me are always a team because, Keyshawn's been through the same stuff that I've been through. And then it's like, Dad, Mom, sometimes Mom's on my side, but I don't really know. Sometimes Dad, Mom, Keith. So you've got me going a 3 minus 2. That is not a fair fight. Because Keyshawn ain't saying nothing. Keyshawn don't want to get in trouble. He does not want to get kicked out. He does not want to get the rent raised higher. So Keyshawn's not saying nothing. He ain't doing nothing. So it's just me. So it's 1 versus 3. And then it's like the 2 adults that control if I can have my tablet or if I can go outside or if I can do anything. So I have to shut my mouth. I can't talk. Or I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get a whooping. I am. And then Keith comes in here with his little self, being his little self, being all like, sticking out his tongue, pointing fingers. What is this? What is this? I'm not saying that you guys always team up. Sometimes mom's on my side, sometimes dad's on my side. Okay, never mind. Dad's never on my side. Sometimes mom's on my side, sometimes Keith's on my side, sometimes you guys on my side. But whenever your sweet baby is upset, that's when you guys all come teaming. That's when you guys all come today. Right? Because I'm on the verge of moving out. I'm on the verge of running away. Well, I was on the verge of running away. But I'm going to tell a secret to all of you guys. This will be my last sentence before this broadcast is over. Let me tell a secret. When I was 8 or 9 years old, I had a problem with hurting myself. Mentally and physically harming myself. Talking myself down to making friends. Talking myself down to all sorts of stuff. I still have cuts on my arm from what I used to do to myself. I used to hit myself with my belt. I used to scratch my face. I used to do all sorts of stuff. I had a bad mental disorder. You guys did not know that because you guys were never around back then. Not saying so you guys sometimes were around, but never to comfort me because you guys say 9-year-olds can't do all that stuff. 9-year-olds don't have feelings like that. You guys say I don't got feelings like that, but I do. But anyway, so I had a problem when I was younger. I had a problem. So you guys just dismissed it. You guys saw all those scratches. You guys saw those little belt marks that you guys didn't do. You guys thought I was just playing around too rough. I'm not saying you guys are bad parents. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying that if you guys paid more attention to my feelings and how I feel, that will help me with my mental and physical stuff. But thank you so much for watching and listening. And this is the end of my baby boy broadcast. Goodbye.